Hello and welcome to our Ultimaker S3 Tech Tour video. I'm Matt Griffin, Ultimaker's Director of Community Development. I'm filming this demo solo from our video studio here in New York City, where we are each doing our part to adhere to shelter in place. This prevents me from adding on-set crew or guests from the Ultimaker team as we would ordinarily. Nonetheless, I was able to video conference with a number of our team members across the globe and will share what I learned from them later in this video. So why are we launching a tech demo webinar featuring the Ultimaker S3? After all, it has already been out on the market for some time. Well, the Ultimaker S3 launched at the same time as its flashier older brother, the Ultimaker S5 Pro Bundle. And it is our distinct impression that there are a number of designers, engineers, and educators who overlooked the S3 at launch, who missed why this machine might be the perfect professional desktop machine for them. A major reason for this video is to shine the light on this highly capable, pint-sized powerhouse. The Ultimaker S3 is, for all intents and purposes, the 11th machine launched under the Ultimaker brand, and represents a decade of Ultimaker engineering's efforts to squeeze the most performance out of FFF possible with a very tight footprint. This machine is more than just a worthy successor to the Ultimaker 3 model family that launched in 2016. It also builds on a majority of the key features from the Ultimaker S5 from 2018, bringing this desktop real estate friendly model fully into the S-Line experience and aesthetics. I have a confession, I love this machine, and it is my primary desktop workhorse here in the studio. I'm thrilled to do my part to correct this neglect. Now, in terms of capability and affordability, the S3 is all about disruptive 3D printing. And as it happens, that type of disruption is exactly what so many of us now working from home during the time of this global crisis need, especially now that the term in-house 3D printing takes on a deeper meaning. Whatever equipment we have managed to get into our homes has to deliver, no matter what the challenges that face it. From continuing to iterate on our own design work, to repairing equipment we can't easily take into a service center, to even doing our part to 3D print to help support the medical professionals on the front lines during the ramp up while the manufacturing industry adjusts to meet this growing need. This is where the Ultimaker S3 can serve as a powerful manufacturing unit and really earn its place on your desk at home. I'm going to start with a quick overview of all the new hardware features. Then I'll draw from my discussions with R&D and product marketing teams to help you understand the context of this model's place in the S-Line and in the marketplace. Finally, in order to highlight Ultimaker S3 as a daily driver for your projects, I'll give you a demo of the workflow. Let's take a close look at the Ultimaker S3 itself and find out how this small machine is packed with Ultimaker's latest technology. As I mentioned before, the S3 borrows significantly from the feature set of the S5 and is in fact a miniaturization of the S5 rather than a set of updates applied to the Ultimaker 3 line. It is an Ultimaker S5 scaled down to fit on an engineer's desk. We'll start with the frame. When you look at the machine at a squint, you might think that this is the same frame size as the Ultimaker 3, but look again. Our team has expanded the base of the machine to move the avoid areas and travel areas off the build plate so that both nozzles can address all the printable areas of the build plate, practically to the metal clips. This means that while we are using borosilicate glass plates of a similar size as the Ultimaker 2 Plus and 3 lines, you can actually print larger parts than on the Ultimaker 3. Improvements are also here to be found in the rigidity of the frame, the print stage cantilever, and the axle and guide rods that will reduce ringing artifacts and give you a more stable canvas on which to build up your parts. Heading to the back of the machine, the first thing you'll notice is that the S3 has an integrated power supply. No more puzzling over where to put the power brick. The big news is that the feeders on the S3 here are the same as the S5 feeders, concealing inside hardened steel feeder wheels for abrasion-resistant 3D printing with glass or carbon fiber materials when paired with the Print Core CC. And what makes a daily difference for me in my use, dual filament flow sensors make sure that you're notified if you run out of material during a print job. This reduces waste and increases print success rates. Now, let's head inside the build chamber. Here you have the glass door to permit a more consistent build chamber temperature. You'll notice the hinge, similar to those on the Ultimaker S5, but rethought as a single piece with a magnetic latch to set it securely against the frame during printing. The door helps preventing warping and layer separation, especially with the higher temperature materials that are possible with this machine. Likewise, the updated silicone gasket in the print head better seals the tool head against drafts and active cooling and prevents floods. When you start each print, the firmware triggers an advanced auto bed leveling sequence that probes across the plate to identify microscopic topological variations that the firmware then can compensate for to help you create the perfect first layer for every print. When you operate the S3, you'll notice the smooth, precise, and quieter printhead motion. Now, this is made possible with the same trinamic stepper drivers that are on the Ultimaker S5. And as with all of our models since the Ultimaker 3, there is a built-in camera here in the corner so that you can monitor your print jobs from Cura and beyond. Now, closing the door again, let's take another look at the touchscreen here. If you have used the Ultimaker S5 before, then you welcome the intuitive touch and tap logic of this award-winning user interface. Not to overlook are the helpful wizards to guide you through the setup and maintenance sequence, as well as a full color display of the parts that you are ready to print. And there you have it, the feature highlights of the Ultimaker S3. I'd like to share more about the context of the creation of the Ultimaker S3. I visited colleagues on video conferences across and around the world to collect insights from R&D and product marketing to help put this model's origins into perspective. And I have some short interview snippets to illustrate. First, a discussion with Jim Floor, the lead mechanical design engineer who undertook the creation of the Ultimaker S3.
The assignment assigned to me was basically, we're gonna take all the advancements of the S5 and bring them to the Ultimaker 3, and therefore updating the Ultimaker 3 into the S-line form factor. The glass plate since the Ultimaker 2 defined the boundary and the machine size of the S3, where we wanted to use both nozzles to be able to reach the full build volume we specified. By making the machine also slightly wider, the touchscreen fits in way nicer in terms of design. Yeah, it resulted in a fairly compact machine that is utilizing all the advancements from the S5. As it bring in the touchscreen, the new feeders, latest printhead, quicker heating of the build plate, the glass door to shield the printer off. A single door worked fine enough because it's about the same weight as the S5 door. For right-handed people, it's really nice to open the door left-handed and pick up your print.
Thanks, Jim, for joining us from across the Atlantic. I also spoke with Rutger Stronks, the Global Director of Product Marketing.
So based on our market research, there are a large number of companies out there that could really benefit from 3D printing, but haven't adopted it yet. We've also seen that when companies do adopt 3D printing and add it to their workflow, it's often because one or two passionate employees have demonstrated the benefits of having the technology in the office or workshop. That was the thinking behind the Ultimaker S3. It's all about showing what's possible in a compact machine that reliably produces high quality 3D print, so to say. We wanted to create a printer that professional designers and engineers could use out of the box and that wouldn't take up too much of their valuable time. And that delivers results that really benefit businesses. The S3 is really there for engineers that want to embrace professional 3D printing or to demonstrate the value to their companies. The S3 is a workhorse that can really address that need.
So I felt that this section of our interview was key to understanding the Ultimaker S-line strategy and the role of the Ultimaker S3 within this product line. Well, now I want to give a very simple S3 demo to show you the basic operations. So first we'll just start right over here in Cura. And the main point here is that when you set up an S3 in Cura, look at the nice clean lines of the avoid areas right out at the edge. There's a lot of room here to build your parts. Here I have these jaw grippers that you can make using a soft material for the grippers and a stronger material for the arm. In this case, I'm just using tough PLA and normal PLA because that's what I have handy. And I'm going to merge these models. And I've already assigned the materials. I'm ready to run it. I'm just going to throw my model on this USB drive and take it over. Just going to bring my USB drive over, and I'm going to start my print. I love having the touch screen that I'm so used to from the S5 right here, ready to go. So I can just grab my design. It's all on the interface. Everything's all set, and get it started. Thank you again for attending our Ultimaker S3 Tech Demo webinar. I hope that we did our part to correct the neglect of this pint-sized powerhouse. To zip through the feature highlights again, this model miniaturizes the popular Ultimaker S5 to fully update the Ultimaker 3 form factor to the S-Line aesthetics and capabilities. The frame has been expanded to allow both nozzles to address more of the build plate, and you now have the Ultimaker S5 touchscreen. Here with the intuitive touch and tap print activation, as well as access to an array of full color maintenance wizards. Like the Ultimaker S5, you have the across the plate probing during auto leveling to correct for microscopic variances in surface topology for better part adhesion. While you continue to use the AA and BB cores from the Ultimaker 3 line, this model has been designed from the ground up to accommodate the abrasive materials and permits the use of the Ultimaker Red CC core. On the toolhead as well, you have the new high-temp silicone core gaskets for a better seal for the core heating and to prevent floods. And the entire build stage cantilever has been reinforced to be a stiffer base to prevent ringing your parts. Under the machine, there have been a number of electronics improvements, including trinamic stepper drivers and serviceability improvements. And on the back of the machine, the feeder wheel has the same abrasive-resistant tool-hardened steel from the Ultimaker S5 and a flow sensor to detect runouts and snags in the material feed. These may well be features familiar for those who have seen the Ultimaker S5, but now you can bring this back to your desk or to your home office, and this is why the S3 is currently my favorite of the machines. I'm Matt Griffin from Ultimaker, and thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again at our next webinar.